Hello, Susan at Seaside Stitches, and I'm having another go. It's Tuesday now, and I did a video yesterday evening around 7ish, 7:30, and I lost the light. Light from this side just wasn't enough because the light just went. Then I got a sunburst, a pre-sunset sunburst that came in. Yeah. I'm getting blinded by the light now. I'm just practicing now to get a proper setup again. I used to have a better setup. I started using the bigger tripod with the phone a little bit further away from me, and that seemed to be working, but then we just kept running out of light because as the days got shorter it got darker, and then I haven't really done many videos sat here related to sewing where I've needed to show you anything. So I just thought I would get into the habit of when Alan does his Zoom class, I would do my video, because I used to try to get them out every Tuesday, and that had been my idea. Now I'm just saying all that, and then I'm just going to check the camera. In my, what I feel like is my best dress, because me sharing some of my sewing on Facebook to some of my Facebook friends, when I made this, it's months and months and months ago. It was one of the successes of finally finishing something that wouldn't go right, that I'd started since we moved here in 2015, but before lockdown. I'd started this dress, but lockdown meant I had time to think about it. It wasn't meant to be like this. I talk about it in my video, episode 3. It's become part of 3 different patterns that I had to use to recraft the top using one of my McCall's patterns, and then another pattern to work out where to cut it from, then bring up the bottom of the skirt that was on the original pattern that I was using, and I just really love it. The frugal frock I love, and I love this. They're kind of just very different, but also both look a bit like a piece of furniture. So I do like a big pattern, or a busy pattern, a bright pattern. So I'm wearing this dress because it was spotted by a friend on Facebook who was actually involved in an art project, and asked me would I mind a photo of it being used in kind of an art and crafty kind of a, not say exhibition, but just a theme that was going on in Fleetwood. And I said yes, that would be fine. And then I was asked could they borrow my dress, because they were going to do something for the NHS. There is kind of a big area they were going to use some kind of Christmas theme or a winter theme, and then that didn't take off because it had to be postponed because things got worse again and the lockdown happened. Subsequently, I think that's the right word, asked would I take part in a collaboration with this person who is an artist who also has a lot to do with costume and film and stories and things, and I said I'd love to. I'm not going into any detail about that, but the days I've got to have completed something are getting shorter and shorter because the something hasn't arrived to complete it with yet. So, well, to begin it with yet. So I went today, and today was about photographing the people who are taking part in this event, this upcoming event, and so I had to have a wash and put my hair up and then down and go in the wind, and I've set off with my fringe going that way and then ended up with it going that way. So it's been a very exciting afternoon, and I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I have only relatively recently got quite bad arthritis very quickly in a couple of my fingers, and this last few days it's been playing up, particularly in my left hand. So today I was being very gentle with myself and pottering in here. This had become an absolute nightmare of a room. I'd started something, left it unfinished, left something else, started something else, got piles of this needs doing, that needs doing, unfinished objects everywhere, ready to start objects everywhere, just mess. And I use this room, I also have my own family iron, there's only me and him, ironing pile, and I'd been gifted some fabric. I mentioned in episode 14, I think, that I'd been gifted some fabric, and I'd been washing that, ironing that, and preparing it for whatever I was going to make with it. And then I've got some ideas now, and I've gone through some of my Debbie Shaw's books and Fat Quarter books and half yard gift books to look at what could I make as bags or just crafty things rather than garments, or sewing things, but not necessarily garments. So I'd picked out quite a few different pieces of fabric of my own, and also added a little bit to that, but with some notions and things. And I had bought some last week. We went to Hobbycraft, and I managed to get some fat quarters that were on offer, and I had in mind a project with these fat quarters. So I washed them all, and then they're all straggly, aren't they? They're all in bits hanging off them, and they definitely needed ironing. But I didn't want to do things. I didn't want to put my iron on, because it would have the steam just frizzes my hair, and I look like Hagrid from Harry Potter. And I've got a video of that somewhere. I may put it in. Then again, I may not. And so I've got those fat quarters to iron. Actually, today I just gently trimmed them, as in not put too much pressure on my hand, and I trimmed them, and I've reordered the way that I'm storing. I've only got about 3, 4, 5 sets of fat quarters. Nothing elaborate, nothing fancy, nothing cave facet. No, I've not got anything like that. Yeah, so these are the trimmings from that. So anyway, I'm going on and on again, as usual, and I haven't checked it's actually working. I'll be back in a moment. So, back again. It did appear to have worked. So, I've probably moved it now. I've tried to lift it up a bit because it would slice the top of my head off, and you could see far too much of my cheese and onion pie in my tummy from yesterday. Anyway, one of the things I was sharing yesterday was that we had a trip to Bolton. Bolton has an Abercarn, which is a very reasonably priced, a store with very reasonably priced fabric. And this, with the make a t-shirt for summer in mind, this is cotton jersey, and with my love of large patterns, or large, bright, busy patterns, this caught my eye. And there are more than 3 meters, and it was sold by weight, and it only cost £11, and it is at least 60 wide, if not more. I've washed it. It has washed like a dream, and it's really good. I like it. So that's one, and the other one was this. All this shouldn't be on here, you know. I'm not necessarily admitting to this much, but this I also got from there, and this, there are 2 meters and a little bit more of this, and this was also for the possibility of a t-shirt. Now you can make a t-shirt or a t-shirt dress. I didn't just go willy-nilly and go into a shop and go, oh, I must make a t-shirt for this. It's not a competition, it's a challenge, and I'm really pleased it's a draw rather than a competitive one. I'm not going to do any more of the competitive ones. I don't like that. I don't like to be compared to my peers, my friends and sewers, and no. I'm happy if it's just a draw, but No, I don't want to do that. So I do need some, so I looked at what do I need. If I'm going to make a t-shirt, what do I need? And this is really nice and fresh. I quite like that. It is busy, but it's not as blur like some of the things that I have. And I thought that would be quite a nice t-shirt to have with my, I've got 2 denim skirts, and I thought that would be quite good. And I have a navy cardigan, and I have some shorter skirts as well that would be nice with. So I thought that is quite a good one, and also it's a similar kind of weight to the white fabric that I used for the Freya top, the T&B, the Tilly and Buttons Freya top. I'm not going to fold that because of my fingers. And that's that. And then, oops. And yesterday, what came was my extra piece of this. I know it may be boring seeing the same fabric, but I bought some of this. There was only 1 meter, no, there was 1 unit left. And although I know that the units are usually ½ meters, and I knew that only ½ meter was coming, and that's all there was that she had at the time, I bought it knowing it was ½ meter, but in the time from me buying it to it arriving, I had convinced myself it would make this and that and several things really that ½ meter couldn't, and ½ meter that is also one-way fabric wouldn't be able to make what I wanted. So with the t-shirt challenge in mind, I decided to make a mishmash. So I have it will be up there. I have rearranged my patterns as well, inspired by the lovely Charm from Kittenish Behaviour. She has redone her whole room, and they've moved house, and it's massive, and they sew for a living. She's a wonderful seamstress, but she also does some personal sewing items, and she was rearranging all her shelves, and all her patterns are almost in alphabetical order or name order, and separated by dresses and all that kind of thing. And I realised that I now have quite a lot of patterns, especially as I'd been subscribing to Sew Magazine and picking up the other ones as well, and I have quite a few Tilly and the Buttons ones, but I did have them in sideways in a tub, and that was working well for me because I could take it in the front of an evening and go, oh, now I could make that, couldn't I? And that's probably why I had all these different things going at the same time. So it's a secret really, but I'll let you in on it. I decided to try colour blocking, and so using some of this, the bits and pieces, I didn't really fussy cut it, I just did, so I did, which is this part of the dress, so 2 pieces here, and then although the rest of that isn't the same, so then the 2 side pieces, front and back, and then a different colour in the middle, but just a top. And then I'm still thinking, but is that a t-shirt? When I put sleeves with it, will it be a t-shirt or is it a top? And it's that, having a definition of what is a t-shirt and what is a top. So that is kind of what I'm working through, but the possibility is that that will get made, well, it's made up of, basted it all together within all this mess, and then they're the kind of things I've been separating to do that over there and do that over there, and then work out when you're going to work on anything else. But then this, so then I had emailed her and said if she got any more, could she let me know. This is Andrea at the Pink Door. And I had been looking out for when it got restocked, but I had missed it. And when I went back on the other day, just have another scan, there were only 2 units left. So I've only ended up with 1 meter anyway. And now I want to actually use some of it for the sleeves for what I'm making. So we'll see. I'll see if that's what I'm going to do, or am I going to make something else. Now I've got a full metre of it, which doesn't seem a lot, but it is really lovely. And although I say it myself, it's very much like another piece of furniture, but it does really suit me. So there you go, that's that. The other thing I bought, went to a charity shop to donate some things to a charity shop, and this was still in its packet, brand new, sealed up, and all it is a pale blue, pretty sky blue sheet, and it's cotton poly, and these, if they're new and they're a good quality one, which it was, I wash these, iron them, and use them for linings for things. So if I'm making a bag, or these, oh dear, I'm going to shake the thing, something like this, then I can use them for linings. And they go with my Seaside theme, Seaside colours, and Harold likes them. Little Harold. If you've not met Harold, he appears in the first video that I ever did for YouTube. There he is. So I couldn't leave that, could I, really? I mean, it was £4. So for something that's 72 something, very, very long, I've got a lot of fabric there. And then while I measured that, I got, that would have been £15. So the white with the blue and the green with the blue together came to £15 something. And that's a lot of saving on some, what I see is quite quality material. And then I was looking, I'm doing a shirt course, a shirt making course with the Stitch Sisters online. It's £19.99, I think. I haven't actually started to make a shirt yet because I've no room to put one. But I do have a nice shirt pattern, and although this is not what I bought the fabric for, it has now become that, because this is really beautiful. It's like a craft cotton. It was in the craft cotton section. It's kind of, you can feel it's like a poplin. It's really nice. It's really, I think it would be lovely in a shirt. And it's just, so I like how crisp and clean it is. And it feels like it wouldn't be massively difficult to iron. Can't bear to have things on that haven't been ironed. But I don't want to spend my life ironing stuff, clothes. So I thought it was a relatively small piece. And I was going to, again, use this for perhaps making bags. Oh, sorry, I'm making such a noise. But quite smart bags, I think. You could make something with this. But then I have decided now that it would be perfect for trying to do one of the shirts. And there's more than two yet. There's about 2.5 meters of this. I think that's enough to admit to at the moment. But never mind, it's in a good cause. I think the bit that I wanted to talk about is in the dark on the other video. Okay, I'm just laughing because I've opened the box. Yesterday, after I had done the video, and I was so upset that I'd felt really natural, really kind of flowing, and although I had made several of my memory mistakes, I felt like I'd done quite a good message to you all. And then when I realised I hadn't, I purchased this. Ta-da! So I went to pick this up. If you haven't already realised, this is a ring light, and this would be where my phone went, and it would be over there, and I would be going like that. Oh my goodness. So I'm not putting it together for this one, but see how committed I am to trying my hardest to make this work. Why I wanted to come on and make a video in the first place yesterday was just to say that I have made a decision about this blouse. This is my So April blouse. I made it from Pattern Union Phoebe Flounce, and I do like it, and I love this. I love that I was capable of making the flounce. I love that it came out looking quite smart, and I couldn't get my head round what this band was all about and why would it hang about there and not be joined up. Anyway, I quite like that as well, and I like the tie neck, and I like that I finished it with bias binding, the satin bias binding. Pattern Union Phoebe Flounce blouse, and I've added some leg of mutton or bishop sleeves, which I wanted to do when I wanted to look for a flouncy thing. And what I've decided to do is take out the sleeves, because I love the sleeves, but I don't think that they are best suited to each other. I think I'll get a lot more wear out of the blouse with it just having the armholes. I'll do the satin binding, which is what they recommend really. It is a sleeveless blouse anyway, but I wanted to try it with the blouse, with the sleeves, and I do love these sleeves, and I'm going to import them to another pattern, which I did have a moment ago, yes. But when I was trying this, and not poke my eye out, when I was trying this on during the making, I just popped it on just to take to get a view of what it was like, and I'd got my, I can't remember, I'd already got the button, the rouleau loops on or whatever, but I had it on top of a black polo, knitted ribbed polo neck, and I really like that effect, and I think I will wear it more if I can wear it more as a bit of a waistcoat. I wouldn't ever wear it with no sleeves. I don't like having my bare arms on show. So I think that's, well, no, it isn't I think, I will. I'm going to take out the sleeves, and I am going to import them to this wonderful, it is McCall's 8181, and I have watched a sew along. The name of the person I really can't remember, I'm sorry, and I will insert it if I get as far as editing this, because that's been another thing, the problem of editing and technology and things. But you do need to have a lining, so with it I have some white polyester that I can line it with. Oh, in fact, it is a white polyester sheet cotton poly sheet that I bought from Aldi last week, thinking that will be come in handy for something. It was $5.99 for a king size fitted sheet. So there is a lot of fabric in that, and that again was for lining bags or lining projects, not necessarily clothes, but that would mean that would be fine with this fabric. There's no certainty that this is just cotton anyway. It was in the sheeting pile at Abercorn quite a while ago, and yeah, I've got enough of it to make this, and I do think that would be nice with those sleeves, and you've got that more kind of crisp, clean shape. And if it isn't, I'll do something else about it. But I really fancy that, and it doesn't look like it's a massively difficult sew. But I haven't done any buttonholes for quite a while, and I'm wanting to get on with that. That's part of the Stitch Sisters thing. I want to get the shirt tutorial under my belt really, to ward off any chance of becoming phobic about making buttonholes. So I'm looking forward to making that. I just hope I can get the fit right, because I have been get a bit fractious when I can't get the fit right. And with these patterns, this goes up to a 14. and the other you get the 14, 16, 18, 20, whatever, and I bought the up to the 14, so we will see how I get on with that. I'll keep you abreast of the progress or lack of. So that's it for now, and I'm just really I can't believe the size of that ring light. I may be very white and washed out the next time you see me on video. I shall see. I'd thought I need to do some craft stalls or something, some craft fairs to sell some things so that I can afford all the equipment to do this, because yeah, it's not cheap. There's me, oh, you can just light it with your phone with a few lamps and what have you. But this is my baby ring light. Ta-da! But it's just that it's finding a good position. Oh, and normally because I usually use the tripod, I can usually touch the table because I've got this perched on 2 boxes on a little a Joby Gorilla tripod that does its own thing. It's wedged on 3 of my sewing boxes, my fabric stash box. I usually, if I'm not using the sewing room, dining room really, if I'm not using my sewing room, I do it in the hall by the stairs, but we have burnt the paint off the staircase and in the process of repainting it and getting all that looking a bit better. So I can't film in there, it's full of ladders and scratched bits of paint all over the place. So it's been a few weeks of and I have been, because we've had good weather lately, which has been marvellous, I have been managing to paint some of the, we have these not really nice concrete slab fence panels that we inherited when we came, and they were an awful dirty concrete grey colour, and I painted them cream a couple of years ago when I was looking after my mum, and it was something I could do and keep an eye on her through the French window so that she could watch and I could be doing something, and it kind of worked out okay, but they've needed doing again now because they've been battered by weather and they've just gone a bit scruffy. So I've been doing that, and on the bank holiday weekend I repainted the summer house. Well, I got 1 coat on it because the last time I attempted to, if any of you are followers of my videos, you will find that I fell into the shrubbery and fell very heavily onto a load of stalks and made a big mess of my upper arm. Didn't show you any photos of it, but I did look like some of the batik, Hoffman batiks, as they change colour from yellow to blue and purple and orangey. Yes. So that's my big catch up, and it's lovely to have you watching these videos. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. I can't believe I've got 380 subscribers, and on the Frugal Frocks video I had 5,600 views. I mean, some people might have gone, oh no, I don't want this. 5,600 people bothered to press the play button in the first place, and I hope most people weren't disappointed, but I'm just aghast at how this grows when there's been a challenge like that, which the hashtag itself and the tagging of all the usual suspects of YouTube, wonderful creators, wonderful sewists and crafting people. It's lovely to be part of this community. So thank you, YouTube friends, as Kate from Last Homely House would say, and I shall see you again soon. Bye for now. Da-da.